I'm still waiting on paint, so we're going to knock out the engine and the rear differential assembly. This time it's going to be a nice short video. The oil pan is very visible on this kit, so I want to get rid of that nasty mold seam. And I realized it's going to need more than just some sanding, so I moved on to using my good old-fashioned trick is using super glue as filler. One of the reasons I love these nail files so well is that I could bend them and concentrate only on what I need sanding. And right now what I need sanded is that high spot where I added the super glue. Once it's all flat and that seam is no longer visible, I can just flip that over and bend it the other way. This is rounding off the edges and adding that kind of round shape that the oil pan used to be. After this, I'll move on to all the other edges that need to be flat. I'm not worried about that gap because the head will cover it up. I just want it to be flat. And you can see how well that polishes up after I move up through the grits. Once I put paint on that, you're not even going to know there was a seam there. Now the long block is painted, I can move on to adding all the little fiddly bits. I wasn't very surprised here, but I did find a part that was missing. We are missing the distributor. If you want to call that little piece of 90-degree angle a distributor. I'm not really too concerned. Once it's assembled, you won't even know it's missing. And I started masking off the head, and that air cleaner was bothering me. So I need to go find more super glue. I get impatient and use an accelerator, and it had a little bit of a reaction, but that's okay. We can sand all that down. And that's exactly what I did. Right now I'm scribing out the lines that are supposed to be there. There's also these little embellishment things. I'm not gonna scribe them in. I'm not that good free-handed. But you can see this is now domed like what it's supposed to be on a real car. And again, once we cover it in paint, it's gonna look just fine. See, told ya. The valve covers, they were chrome plated stamped steel, and I used the old chrome from the kit, and it looks really like it's correct for the era. It's kind of worn out, it's kind of tarnished, it looks good. All I did was just clean up the seams so they'd sit flush. Now for these shocks, I found the easiest way to install them is to ignore the directions and let them kind of just float on the axles, then install the cradle over them. When I was younger, my dad and I built a hot rod, and the Jaguar rims were all the rage. Everybody wanted them because independent rear suspension at the time was cool. And there was an aftermarket company that created their own cross braces, and they made them out of brass just to stand out. So this is kind of just a little kickback to how they looked back in the day. And with these brakes being installed, that will wrap up this video. Hopefully paint will be here soon and we can get started on that. Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff.